Good evening, everybody. We are in episode 3 of Women Crushing It Wednesday. We are waiting for Boxer Girl 1970 Tracy, but we're going to go ahead and get started. And I'm going to start by introducing my panel. They're going to introduce themselves. And we'll start with Nancy. Nancy, introduce yourself to everybody tonight. Oh, Nancy's busy. Esmeralda, we'll start with you.
I wasn't ready either. Hi, I'm Esmeralda Ferraro. I'm Fotógrafa de la Gente. I work with Supreme, and I'm a member of the Tijuana Baja team panel. So I'm binational, getting the U.S. fighters and the Mexico fighters to fight in the
Badass girl. And everybody knows Nika girl.
Hi, everybody. It's my girlfriend Nika, also known as Mike Tyson, and we're gonna talk about some things today. I didn't even notice your shirt.
Yeah, I wore it in in honor of you, and also the heavyweight drama that's going on.
Yes,
Nancy,
yes.
Introduce yourself. Tracy,
hi, everybody. I'm Nancy with
Boxing. She's saying. Introduce yourself.
I think she's delayed.
Are you delayed, Nancy? Oh, are you
delayed? There's
an
issue on my end. Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, okay. Good. Yes, we can hear you now. Okay.
Oh, awesome.
Then, Tracy, I'm going to send Tracy the link because she's having some trouble. I'm going to send it to her through Twitter, but that's good. But we're gonna continue on. So look, there's been some drama. There's been some drama in a lot of places, but there's been some drama with the heavyweight division, and I want to address that, and I want to know what y'all's thoughts are about that. So, does anyone want to start with that?
Okay, so I kind of knew that this was going to happen because we kind of touched on it the first time we did the show.
We did. You touched on it, and I had to do research after we got off.
Yeah. So I feel like everyone involved knew this arbitration was in place and they needed to wait for the decision before they actually signed any papers, schedule a venue, schedule a date, but they decided that they were going to not do that and just, announce the fight. That's why I feel like Wilder was very quiet the whole entire time because he knew that this was in the works and he had to wait for a decision before he could even speak out and say, he wants a rematch and this fight's gonna happen. So I honestly feel like he deserves a rematch because not for nothing, if he didn't give Tyson Fury an opportunity to fight, the fight wouldn't happen because Tyson Fury was coming off of a big depression. He had to get back in the game and Wilder gave him that shot to come back into the game. So I honestly felt like he was due the rematch. So I'm not mad about it, but I did want to see Joshua and Fury as well. So it's kind of up in the air. So we'll see what happens.
So did you think that they were just announcing and going on and thinking, you know what, that nothing was going to be said, that it was just going to go on through and they were going to get the fight done, when they were even worrying about the arbitration? What did you think was going on through their mind? Like, what did y'all think about that? Like,
I feel like they must have thought, they had to think that this arbitration hearing was going to go in their favor for them to have announced the fight and signed for a fight and everything, because they had a date set and then they had a venue in Saudi Arabia and everything. So I just feel like they thought it was going to go in their favor, and I don't know why you would assume that and start making plans without an actual decision.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I had even messaged my friend. I was like, girl, we going to Saudi Arabia. We are going to that fight. Because to me, I don't know about y'all, but to me, that is the fight.
Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you. What do you think? What do you think about that?
Freezing on me.
Is that the fight? Or do y'all want to see a trilogy?
I want to see the trilogy. I do.
I think the trilogy will bring a different type of fighter in each. I think it would be good to see them both fight again, just in different states of their careers. And they both got something to prove. So I think it would be a really good fight to see a third one.
But to be honest, I feel like Fury should no Wilder should take uh a tune up before he goes for uh Tyson Fury. Sorry, Wilder should take a tune up before he fights Tyson Fury. That's my thoughts on that, because I don't know where his head is at. You know, I know he's training and he just started training, but he has to mesh with his new trainer. Like, there's a lot going on there, and you're just gonna hop into this trilogy. I feel like he should have like a tune-up fight. That's just me. That's my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah.
Hi, Tracy. We got you. How are you? Can you hear us?
I don't know if she has her mic
Can
on.
you hear us? I'm glad you finally got. So we're talking about all the drama in the heavyweight department. You know, with arbitration and everything that's going on. Do we want to see a trilogy?
Yeah, I realized that I could forward the message. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. You're a little delayed, but we can hear you.
Good Lord.
We can hear you, but you're a little delayed. And Nika, Scotty White said no, there is no tune-up
No tune-up needed.
Okay.
I'm
That's
delayed.
your opinion,
Okay.
sir.
I feel like his new
tune-up
trainer.
is needed, but
Shoot, I'm having issues
let me
with
see
my
who said that.
sound.
Who said that?
That's okay. That's okay. Maybe log off and log back on. Try that, and then I'll log you back on. Log off and log back on. But because I definitely want to talk about. Because I definitely want to talk about Malik Scott.
A tune-up. Who needs a tune-up?
They were saying that Wilder. So Nika was saying that maybe Wilder needs a tune-up. Before the rematch. I mean, before the trilogy. And Canelo Local Sports says no way to guarantee the trilogy if he takes a tune-up. That's true.
Yeah.
That's
I know, but I still feel like he needs it, because this is a new trainer he's working with. He's working on something other than one punch, like a foot movement. Like, I feel like he should not try to go in there and test this out. Like, he should have one fight before he goes in with Fury. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Got no Local Sports. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
If they're only showing us, bits and pieces they want us to see, like they want us to see they suck or they're not working on something because they want to show a different fighter in the ring. And I've seen it sometimes. Not everyone does it, but some do. But I kind of give them the benefit of that. I'm like, okay, we might not be seeing something, and you actually might be working on that with your new trainer.
Sure. Or they show the best because they're trying to show that, with this new trainer, I'm going to be better than ever. And, a lot of people, so at first, I was like, okay, this Malik Scott, like the way that I knew Malik Scott was he got knocked out in the first round because he fought Deontay Wilder. And Deontay didn't even hit him with a clean shot. He had his gloves up. He hit him. The gloves hit him and he was done. It was over. So I was like, who is this dude? So I did some research. He had a pretty good amateur career. He had a pretty good pro career. He lost to Deontay. He lost to Luis Ortiz. And he lost to somebody else. Hold on. Who else did he lose to? What's his name? He just fought Derek Chisora. So he lost to some big names. And then he fought one of my guys from Fort Worth. I won't mention his name. I don't want to put his name out there. He fought him twice and he beat him. So, okay, he was a pretty good boxer, but sometimes it doesn't translate to a teacher. I feel like boxers, coaches, trainers need to be teachers.
Right.
And Canelo Local Sports says, let me explain. Let me explain. So I don't know. What's he going to do? Is he able to change his bad habits in they just started working together in less than a year, whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's my reasoning for wanting him to take a tune-up. But I understand that if he takes if
He's got a time
Fury
limit.
takes it, yeah, he has a time limit. But I just don't see. I don't think it's like a good thing to go in a big fight with a
Right.
new trainer with things that you just learned how to
Mhm.
do, and implement into your repertoire, to go
Right.
into a big fight. But I understand what
and
you're saying, kind of
And that's what
local sport.
Canelo's saying. Yeah, that's what kind of local sports is saying. I understand. So if he does take the tune-up, then yeah, he's going to miss the opportunity. And I know that they're saying that it's more than it's about blood. It's about vengeance. It's about So I get it. I get it. What do you other ladies think about it?
I mean, if it's gonna happen, it's
You know,
gonna
with the
happen.
with the
And if
new
I don't
trainer,
want them to make
I
excuses for him if he does lose it. They're gonna say, "Oh, he didn't have time with his trainer. He was, I don't want to hear no excuses." So that's why I feel the way I feel. This has been
Nancy,
like,
what do you know about his trainer, or what do you think about this new trainer? Can he work miracles?
you know, I think it's a I don't know. I think it's a good move, right? I think that, it was a bit messed up how he left the prior training relationship, right? So there was kind of all that we're still thinking about. But having a new trainer, we saw the impact, right, of making a change with Chris and Goosen, right? And if it works in that dynamic, it can happen, right? But if we use Chris in the Goosen matchup kind of as hey, will it work out the same? How long were they together, right? Did Chris have, that tune-up fight or not? And maybe he follows those same steps, right? I think that it can absolutely, work. I don't know that I've thought through really like the dynamics of both of them, like the style of both, and how that's going to mesh. When I heard of Chris and Goosen, like I very quickly was like, you know what? Yeah, he's gonna tune him in the areas that I think everybody always knew he needed tuning in, right?
Right.
And it worked because even though he lost, he looked great, right?
Right.
So
Absolutely.
I think it can be impactful. I think it can be it's something to look forward to, right? To see what comes of this new matchup, trainer and fighter.
I'm
Yeah.
curious. I'm curious myself.
Who else has his new trainer been with?
Well, see, that was going to be my next question. Who else has he trained?
Yeah.
Is he proven? And I guess we're going to find out. And why did Deontay choose him? What was he looking for when he was shopping around?
How long have they been
very
together?
Curious. Not long. I
Not
mean,
long.
I would say less than a year.
Yeah.
yeah, they could have been working this whole entire time and just now putting out videos. Just putting out the videos now. They could have been working this entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe so. Who knows? Esmeralda, so Jesus says women not consistent in fighting. I'm not really sure what he means by that. Do you have a clue? Does anybody have a clue what he means by that? Maybe he can clarify.
Maybe Jesus can clarify that. What did you mean by that?
Jesus, do you want to clarify that? Because I'm not really sure what you mean.
I mean, if there's no consistency, it's because they don't have the chance to fight as often as the guys do.
Maybe that's what he means. And I mean,
if he's
talking about women,
give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. If he's talking about women, like women boxing, I mean, that's a whole different, topic.
Let's let him explain. So let's not give him ideas to give us.
We'll give him the benefit of the doubt because right now we're talking about the heavyweights.
Yeah, so I don't even know why that even came into play. So
I don't know. It's a little random. Scotty White said that Fury changed trainers the first bout to rematch hiring Sugar Hill. Yes, he did. Absolutely. He sure did.
Yeah.
Touche. Yes, absolutely. So we have to get, so we can't bash one and not, talk about the other. Disa, what's up? What's up, my brother?
You know what though, with changing trainers, especially within a year, 2 years, 3 years, it's just all bad for the fighter. It's you take steps back instead of moving forward. And I mean, we saw it with, Valdez, and
Mhm.
it's that one fight that you have with your trainer. It's not going to be like you're going to look, but it's the next fight after that where you
Right.
got, it's a better teamwork and better ethic. But it takes a while. It's changing trainers is just not good for anybody.
It's tough, especially with these kind of fights. World championship fights, rematches, trilogies. It's risky. It is risky, and you have to really have faith in the trainer and really trust him. And I think that, in my opinion, Deontay has had a lot of yes men around him. And I'm just wondering if Malik is one of those, or is he going to be one to put his foot down? I'm curious to see how it goes, for sure. We have another comment about someone, Robert. Hello, he says he also thinks that he needs a tune-up.
Thank you, Robert.
World Combat Sports says that Jesus is trolling.
No, Christine, he did have a lot of
Fight one or two times a year.
He
What were
said
you
that
saying,
black
Nancy?
women need only fight 1 to 2 times a year, but he was way off topic. We weren't even talking about. I don't know. So I feel like he might have been trolling. But
Jesus,
hello
we're
to
gonna
you,
forgive
Jesus.
you. Jesus, we're
Some
gonna
men
give you your
fight
time
once
to
or twice a
shine.
year
You had
also.
your 5 seconds in the limelight, and now we're done. But you had your time to shine, and now we're done. What were you gonna say, Nancy? I'm sorry.
No, so there's just so much to talk about on the topic, right? And I'm sorry I froze earlier. So again, I was like, no. So I missed some of the conversation, but the whole arbitration and the contract thing. I go back to when we were talking about the Sanders and the ring size issue. Like this is not people's first fight. So when it comes to the legality, when it comes to the contract and every stipulation, I mean, it's there. So it's not like we didn't know. Like it was very clearly very strategic, in trying to delay or find some type of loophole to make this happen and go around Wilder. I also don't think that it's all necessarily trying to avoid him from a fight perspective, like I'm afraid to lose to him this time perspective. I think that some of that is this is only opinion, right? But did he lose some of that following with, the drama and the shenanigans with the suit was heavy or not heavy, or, the glove, conspiracy and the trainer, I thought it was messed up. I get it. Yes, I agree. He had some yes people around him. But I did think it was a bit messed up that there was like zero ownership and accountability on Wilder's part. Right? It's like he put the whole thing, the whole loss, the whole reason on his corner, right? And that's what bothered me, right? Is that
he said his water was spiked too, right? Oh, no.
that too, girl? Like, oh my gosh, right? Like there was zero accountability at all, like through all of this. So I think he lost some people, right? And now you think about it being a business and getting, the views, for the fight. Is he going to bring that because did some of that kind of damage his brand? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but one thing that I think too is he has some diehard fans, which is great. I think that's great.
As we found out,
he has some diehard fans, and then he has some diehard fanatics. And I was gonna drag somebody tonight, but they apologized before I came on here. So I'm gonna spare you, dog. I'm gonna spare you because you apologize. But these people are hell bent on that, that Fury cheated, and the glove gate thing and all this other stuff. So I kind of stay out of those conversations because those conversations on Twitter are ridiculous.
You can't win.
You cannot win. So it's like, why even chime into that? It's like a back and forth thing all entire day for like, I don't even know where they get all these like pictures and videos from. I see so many Photoshop pictures of like a glove
the videos and the
to look like there was like a finger imprint in the glove. It's just like so much going on, but
absolutely.
I feel like
Absolutely.
Wilder just got hit with a good punch, and it shook him. He didn't know what to do after that. It
That's
just
right.
shook him, and it
It's
doesn't mean that
boxing.
it just takes one punch. And he's been on the other end of that. He's hit people with that same punch. So it's like, when you're on the other end, sometimes you don't know how to recover from it. And I think that's what it was. And I feel like his corner saved his life, and then to throw
Absolutely.
his trainer in under the bus like that was kind of like, to me, that wasn't a good
Tracy, can
thing
you
to
hear
put in
us?
the media.
You good?
I can hear you guys.
Okay,
Can you hear me
good.
good?
I can. We can hear you. So, Kano Local Sports, he says, I believe that he made a good choice.
Is it messing up
with
again?
Malik, that they had good chemistry. It seems when they're doing mitts and like they're with each other that they probably do have good chemistry. I mean, just from the vibe that I see on social media, and I hope that they do. I really wish him the best. I don't want his failure. I want him to succeed. Honestly, I think the rematch is going to look a lot like 1 and 2, but that's my opinion. What do you ladies think about that? Nancy, we'll start with you. What do you think the trilogy is going to look like? What's the outcome?
Ooh. I think it's going to be good. I think that seeing the changes that are being made on both ends, right? I think it's on both ends. I think it's going to make for a really, really good fight. And I don't know, in terms of like who would win. I feel like Fury, would come through on that one. Again, I think it goes back to they're still new to dancing together while they're in this trainer, and that's going to affect them, right? Especially because now we know like his demeanor, right? Where he's maybe more prone to people that say yes, right? He might be difficult to coach, right? Is he really a coachable person? So with that doubt, I'd say it'll be a good fight, but I would say Fury would still win again.
Okay.
I want to somebody put a comment in this thing. I think it came from Facebook, and his name is Jose, and he's always say, "Why do I always argue with Wilder fans and then get upset?" I don't even argue with Wilder fans and get upset. I argue with one fanatic online, and he was doing the most, and he was lying on my name, so I checked him. And then you need to. If this guy right here, Jose Gabriel Esparza, that's him. He's the one. He knows that. He just you just want a little shine. I gave it to you. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
He got his 2 seconds of fame. He's messing with you.
Yeah. I don't argue with Wilder fans on there. I argued with one fan because he lied on my name.
People can be passionate and they can have opinions, and it's fun having a healthy discussion with a fellow boxing fan and defending, hey, you're a hardcore Canelo fan, okay, and make your points. But when you start getting a certain type of way,
yeah, like these guys, I'm gonna be clear, some of these guys will be so disrespectful and call you a bitch, call you a groupie, call you, you're dumb or you don't know what you're talking about. Some. I said some, but then there's, the ones that say it, they don't stand behind what they say because they always hide and run behind their little pages, and they're never a page to show who the hell they really are.
Right.
I noticed that the guys who talk out their ass like that, they don't have a real page. So I'm not gonna harp on all men, but there's definitely some men in boxing Twitter and fanatics of some fighters that really come out their ass on females online who love boxing. You just can't be a female who love boxing. You have to have some kind of agenda. You're either a groupie or you're trying to do something. It's ridiculous.
We're gonna talk about that after this. After we make our predictions, we're talking about that. That's for sure. So what you think, Nika? This trilogy, who's winning the trilogy? Who's winning?
Like, that's why I feel like I want to see Wilder fight one time before he gets into. To be honest, I feel like it'll be another draw. To be honest, they'll squeeze some more money out of this thing. It'll be another draw. I really, honestly, I don't know who would win the next fight.
Okay. All right. Tracy, who's winning the trilogy?
Tracy.
Okay, you can hear me clearly and everything. All good.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Who do you
you're
have
mad
winning the
delayed.
trilogy?
Is there a damn delay again?
It's okay. You're good. You're
You're
doing
good.
better.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good, Casey.
You know what? I don't know. I want if I'm in delay, I'm gonna throw everything away. I would like what?
Tracy.
I would like
Tracy.
Wilder.
to win. Low key. I really do. With Tyson, with Tyson Fury, with all this crap, this drama, this bullshit.
Am I the only one who can't hear her?
No, I can't either.
Announcing this. Well, no, with Fury, like announcing the Fury Joshua, and there was nothing settled. It was just total bullshit. It's like he knew he had to wait for the arbitration with is it messing up still? Because I'm gonna move to myself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely messing up.
It
Yeah,
is. You're delayed. Maybe log off and log back on.
Use your phone, because I'm on my
Yeah,
phone.
maybe use your phone.
The phone works perfectly fine.
So Esmeralda, who you got?
You know, I'm rooting for Wilder to have a good comeback and to, like, you know, I mean, he deserves that. I know he's been through a lot and he's trying and he's training again. But we saw Fury out in Vegas and I've seen how intense his workout is, and he's been constantly just training and training.
Yep.
I mean, his stamina is up, his training is up, so he's gonna have to.
I did see he did party a little bit
So
with
much.
AB. I saw him drinking. Well, I don't know if I didn't see him drinking, but he posted a picture of him and Adrian Broner partying, and I don't know if that's ever
girl.
good.
It was a weekend.
Yeah.
That's right. You know, but that's key. That's key, y'all. That's key, right? So like what Esme just said, that's key, is that he continues to stay in shape, right? And doesn't leave the gym, right? That's
Exactly.
going to be so big little asterisk on, you know, that, because I said Fury would win. Given that he continues to, you know, stay in the gym and stay active, I think that's going to be key, because I don't know that we had that from him in the past. Right. And so it seems like this time around, he stayed in the gym, he's staying fit. You know, I personally really liked Wilder, especially, you know, out the gate, you know, when he came out and, you know, became a fan of his story, like Esme said.
Mm-hmm.
But then it started to, you know, you have boxers, they got to have their attitude, you know, their cockiness in the ring. And I started to see more of that. It started to rub me the wrong way a little bit, right? Got a little annoyed by it. And then it was kind of a sealed deal when I saw his reaction, you know, to, you know, all the shit that happened with, you know, the costume and, you know, everything we talked about earlier. So I was like, you know, I'd like to see him come back, right? Like no ill, you know, desire for
bad sportsmanship.
Yeah, yeah.
It looks horrible on everyone, and it's like boxing is a two-people sport inside the ring. So it's not your team's on the corner, but they're not in there with you. And if you lose the fight, take the accountability, because that's you inside of there taking those hits. You know,
exactly. And that's what bothered me, honestly. That's what bothered me, is that there was like no ownership or accountability. And you know, the corner, like these folks, they are there with you, right? Morning to night, to the traveling, you know, the sacrifices, Christine, you know,
Absolutely.
Making all those sacrifices right along the fighter, like only to, in the very public eye, like just throw them under the bus. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that just, that didn't sit well with me.
You're all in camp. You know, I mean, yes, you're in the ring and everything, but your team is there with you every step of the
Mhm.
way. And I think, I mean, I don't know what y'all think about this, but I think if he would have come out and said, you know what, the better man won tonight. I wasn't on my A game. I think I need to go
Yep.
back to the drawing board. Maybe I picked the wrong costume. Maybe I didn't do this. Maybe I should have done this.
Right, right.
You know, forgive me for tonight, but I'm going to come back stronger. I think that
Exactly.
would have had more compassion. I don't know. I mean, that's the way I look at it. What do y'all think
Yep.
about that?
Yeah, I feel like the way things went down kind of rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, with like the trainer being thrown on the bus and kind of blamed for like spiking his water and stuff like that. I feel like a
Tracy,
little
you're so good now.
yeah, it's so much
Okay.
better. Are you on your phone?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
so
we
much
can
better.
listen to you
It's
so
like night and day.
good.
Damn.
It's
Perfect.
okay, Tracy. I was having the same issues earlier. Okay, so you're good.
I actually
I
had
did
my
too.
son come over to help me, and I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to my phone. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
you know what? My first two shows, so I'm like the host, and my first two shows, I was like, you know, and like they couldn't hear me or anything.
Yeah.
But like I told you before, I was doing the robot the whole time. You know,
You know,
like poor
and-
Esmeralda was like, oh my God, I gotta like take over. Like, it was bad. It was bad. Finally got it together. So good. Welcome. The phone is good. But we
Wait,
were
one
just
more
talking
thing.
about.
Sorry,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Was Fury pretty religious before on his last fight?
Religious, you said?
Yeah, because
He's a mess.
now that he's in Vegas, I know he's around this environment that's extremely
I
positive,
think gypsies
and he's been.
I think
right?
gypsies are Catholic, right?
Because
Yeah.
I know with Capetillo, he's a very religious man, so I know that the
Yeah.
environment he has there is extremely positive. It's really motivating, and they encourage each other. They run a lot as a team, so he's doing
Like
so
you saw
much.
him on the beach. He was on the beach the other day, and he has the like they're two like groupies rubbing suntan lotion on
Fury
him.
did.
Yes, they were rubbing suntan lotion on him, and then like a week later, his wife flew out. She was like, "We're not gonna have
So,
none of that." I'm pretty sure.
So our friend says Waller's just being human. Y'all are being too harsh. So you know what? I don't think we're being too harsh. And you know what? I totally respect your opinion.
I
We
don't,
just would have
because
liked
he
to
always
see the
doing
human
this.
side. The human side of him saying, you know what, the better man won. And instead of making all the excuses, I think there would have been more compassion. But you know what? Maybe you're right in your opinion, but
Yeah.
we just felt
I
that
don't
we
think
would have
so.
liked to see some humility.
Correct. I think more was expected of him, right, Jose? So yes, I agree, because on I'm looking at his comment. He's like, "Oh, pobrecito," you know. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. 'Cause like I said, I was
Damn.
following the story, becoming a fan.
Fernando put
But
a
you
whole
gotta-
government name on it.
You gotta be a team, right? You're the fighter. Yes, you're the one risking your life inside the ring, but he just could have come. He could have come from it in a different way, where he wasn't just, in that spotlight throwing, his whole corner under the bus. Is what I'm saying, right?
Right,
And
right.
it's the humility part. And you know what,
Blaming
Jose?
everybody
Maybe he
else.
learned a lesson. Maybe we are going to see him turn around, right? And if he loses again and he comes up, with a different attitude about it, okay, then I think he'll be, respected again from that point.
Yeah, I
With-
feel like
Yeah.
it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, the way things went down with his trainer. Like you really think that your trainer spiked your water? Like, to me,
Right.
that
With heroin.
I
at
know
that-
that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
Right.
See, I understand blaming your trainer, let's say, because your trainer said, go in there, do these punches, these movements, and then you go in there, do exactly that, and it didn't work. But it
Yeah.
wasn't like his trainer, everything he was saying, he wasn't really following either. So he can't just be like, it was my
he
trainer's
doesn't.
fault.
That's
And
right.
people know that he
That's a
doesn't.
good point.
And I think that he was more mad about him throwing the towel in. But
Mhm.
he saved his life, possibly. Who knows? And I would.
He didn't look good. He didn't look good. He did
He did
not
not.
look good. If he didn't
Chris, I
stop it, the ref was gonna stop it.
Yes,
He lives to fight for a trilogy.
absolutely.
Wait,
Now
You
he
know
gets
what?
to
That
get
is
to the
what's
big
said.
guy.
That's absolutely right. I hope that he does come to a point where he'll reflect and be grateful for that stoppage. Nobody knows what would have happened, right? But be grateful for that, because how many times have we seen where that choice is not made, right? And now
And
it's
it
in
needs to
the
be
hands of
made.
the ref, right? And now it's in the hands of the ref to stop the fight, right? I don't know. It just, I hope he looks back and reflects on that. So Chris is saying, I see that comment where he's saying he's a big Wilder fan, but we're being fair. Thank you, Chris. I
Thank you,
think Chris
Chris H.
is from.
And Fernando's apologizing for United. I
You
don't know
getting
what he did
sorry.
to you. Everybody's
Exactly.
apologizing.
He put my whole government name on there.
Hey,
It's
Fern.
like, it was like, dang, for them to put Nike Mercedes on there, like, good God.
I was like, damn, there's
Tracy,
so
do
much
you
fighting
think
going.
that Wilder was fair to Breland? I mean, should he have just like dumped everything on him and like made all these excuses, or do you think that he was just extreme?
Who, Wilder? Wilder
Yes.
is, I think he's extreme. I think it was extreme. I don't know. I don't know that much about that particular fight. I can't remember it. I'm sorry. You're talking about Wilder and
Yeah, Breland, when he just like totally blamed his trainer for everything, that he spiked his
Oh.
water, he threw in the towel, like, I mean, he just ruined
Yes.
everything for him.
yeah.
You
You
know?
know what? I think he was making excuses. I think he was,
Mhm.
and it was hard for him. I can't really say, because I'm not in his head. Who knows why he does what he does, says what he does? I have no clue. No clue.
Yeah.
Absolutely no clue. But I am actually excited to see him come back, because I felt like there was something off about him.
He was off, definitely.
There was
Yeah.
definitely something going on. I know he had a lot of shit in his head, and maybe that was what happened. And instead he turned it and blamed it on, the water and the trainer and shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
instead of going, man, I've got some personal stuff going on, and boxing is mental, and it was in my head, and I just couldn't get there.
Right.
I
Absolutely.
mean, to blame other people is bullshit, I think, in boxing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Except wait, God bless it. Come on now. Why can't I figure this out? God.
You're doing good, girl. You're doing good.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're good. You're
'cause
good.
I'm 50 and whatever.
Sarah,
Seven
you're
years
young.
old.
Good.
You are young.
Christine, so, I've been sitting here trying to think back to like a particular fight or fighter where there was a loss, and you hear the fighter say, I want to apologize to the fans, I want to apologize, to my team.
Yes.
How does that hit different, right? How does that hit
Absolutely.
different than this route that
Absolutely.
he went? So,
You're right. Yeah, good point.
Absolutely.
You know what? 9 times out of 10, when I've seen trainers throw in the towel, stop the fight, I respect that so much, because they're fighting on television. It's a lot of things are on the line. But if your trainer really thinks either something's off with you, that you might not make it, that you might be even more damaged, and they're throwing in the towel, like, that trust that you have with your trainer should be 100% there, even if it makes
Yeah.
you angry, because they're looking out for you in the long run. And
Yeah,
I think
yeah, no, you're right, and I'm going to speak from a trainer. That is one of the hardest seats, because, and I'm a cut woman too, so it's like you're constantly watching your boxer. You got to make sure they're okay. Do you throw the towel in? Do you not throw the towel in? It's a matter of life or death. I would not want to be
Absolutely.
a referee either, because you're in there, and do you stop the fight? Do you not stop the fight? Of course, they don't want you to stop the fight, because they're warriors. They want to keep going. It is the most difficult position to be in.
yeah.
So.
But see,
I
the
don't know.
refs-
and then you
the
get all this
refs-
shit afterwards.
the refs can sometimes be biased. They might like one fighter more than the other.
Absolutely.
They might, I don't know.
Ooh, that's a whole other, right? Yep.
Maybe they bet on one and not the other. I don't know, but no one's gonna look out for you like that trainer throwing in that towel.
Absolutely.
And if he's doing it, it's
Absolutely.
for a reason. And I mean, should have just gotten through their issues, gotten therapy. I don't know, you've gotten over it, and continue
Yeah.
with each other.
Yeah, I will
Yes.
say that the relationship between you and your cornermen is such an intimate, personal, because you don't just know everything that goes on in the gym. You know their family, you know everything they go through. You know if they have an injury that night, if their wife just left them the night before, their mother died. I mean, you know their flaws, their strengths. It's such an intimate situation. So
Mhm.
it's tough. It really is. And
What do y'all think about Anthony Joshua actually now speaking out about the fight? Like he acted like he didn't know
He knew.
about the arbitration, and he knew. He
He
knew.
knew.
He's talking more now about the fight than he did when they actually signed the fight. So I find that very crazy. Like you telling me you didn't know about this arbitration this whole entire time, and all of a sudden now you're like the biggest PR person online now.
He
I
had
don't
to know.
even think that. Yeah, I don't even think that he. I can't even remember a tweet or anything that he really spoke about the
He hasn't
fight
said
before this
anything.
anything.
He
But
hasn't
today
said
he's like,
anything till today.
he's jabbering Joshua. He's talking so
I
much
believe
shit
he had to
online now.
know.
It's crazy.
He had to, I'm sure they had to tell him this might happen. We're going to go ahead and go forward, but this may happen if he wins the arbitration. They had to tell him.
He knew.
I think
He
he knew.
definitely knew.
I think you're right. Like he knew, but there could have been like how soon did he find out type of situation, right? Because
Right.
these folks have their legal teams. You know, they have the people that are involved in the matchmaking and contracts and all of that. And to some extent, the fighter is a bit like distanced from that, right? But yes, I think that he knew, but I don't know that he
He
knew
knew.
as quickly, right, as we maybe thought he did. But he knew.
He knew. He knew, but I feel like people might have been saying, oh, well, it's gonna go this way, so we could go ahead with the fight, or if this decision is not gonna be made until so and so, we can go ahead and move forward with the fight. But he definitely knew. There's no way you didn't know that the arbitration was going on, because that was the only thing that was being talked about on Twitter was the
He
damn
knew, girl.
arbitration.
Yeah.
He's playing big time.
Yep.
He knew. But you know what? I wanna talk about something else. So I want to talk about this. Does anybody have anything else to say about that heavyweight situation?
Oh, no.
before we move on?
No. We're done with that.
No, it's
You know,
true.
okay. Because I want to talk about double standards. So you get these men. Love you, man. We love you, man. We do. But you get
Some
these
of
men
you.
that are
Some
boxing
of you.
fans, like we are. We all started as boxing fans, right? Because that's why we're here. They get their channels, they get their Twitters, they get their pages, whatever, and they can freely speak about boxing, whatever. But as soon as a female wants to speak about something, what happens?
You're a
What does that
groupie.
bitch
You don't know nothing. They call you out of your
Yeah.
name.
Can I have to call one
what
guy
have
out
you
because
done?
I have his page pulled up right now because he didn't apologize, so I'm gonna blast his name on here.
It's like I was defending you out there. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you?
So this guy's name on his Twitter page is called Real Elijah Phil, and in his bio it says he's a 6'3" future pro boxer. And this guy, my beautiful social media world, he's gonna be a pro boxer supposedly, and he's calling females bitches online over boxing. This dude called me a bitch over boxing. I don't even know this man from a can of paint. And you know what? Don't you ever come out your mouth like that to me ever online. I want you to come to the Bronx so one of my cousins can put his foot right in your ass for calling me a bitch, you sack of shit.
Right.
Next time, I'll let you speak on it because I'm getting pissed off all over again.
No, it's true. It's true, and it's like there are the double standards. I mean, what do y'all think about that? Esmeralda, we'll start with you. What do you think about the double standards? And we've had to fight our way through everything, but what do you think about those double standards?
I mean, I started my amateurs when there was hardly any girls years ago, and it was around back then. Personally, I don't think it's gotten too much better. I think there's more women fighters and there's more publicity for them, but the double standards have not changed, and it's it's horrible. Like I'm lucky that I have my husband and he's always with me because at any moment, it's like they want to play anything or they want to do anything. I'm like, he's right there or he's right next to me. And
Yep.
but most women don't have that. And I noticed that it's like they pick and choose who they want to mess with. They pick and choose
That's
who
true.
they want to mess with. And
Absolutely, that's true.
Yes.
But even as a female photographer, have you noticed any resistance, or have you ever run into anything that you knew it was because you were a female?
not yet at least, and I haven't.
Because
Good.
you're always with your husband though, right? That's
That's
probably
good.
why.
No,
But
I got my
I know
bodyguard right with me.
I want to say something because there are some females in the boxing media or boxing world who make a
Sure.
bad names for females, you know.
Absolutely.
So that's why I feel like
Yes.
some men do come out their ass and say stupid shit because
Absolutely.
they bunch us in the same circle with other females that do dumb shit like that, or you know they're blackmailing fighters and they're blackmailing managers and to like get their foot in the door to get to a fight and get credentials and stuff like that. There's one, but I'm not gonna say her name. I think everybody that follows me on Twitter already knows who I'm talking about, but she does that, and I feel
I
like
don't.
Tammy,
that's
No one will hear.
that's
No one
a
will hear.
bad blemish on women in
Tracy's like,
boxing
just
media.
tell me. I won't tell
Just
anyone.
tell me.
I'll
No
hit
one
you.
will hear.
No, but that's very true though. But see, because of women like that, when I started photographing, I had to
Yes.
show them the type of woman that I was.
Right.
And
Yeah, you have
it's
to
kind of
like
one of those things where
you gotta work
you have
extra
to
We
hard
have
to
to-
like.
you have to like
Absolutely.
train them like, okay, don't use that word, towards me. Don't you do this. They didn't, but it was showing them like you respect me. Like I'm not, like those women that give us a bad name. And surprisingly, it was another female photographer that actually gave me more issues than the men did. And we're
That-
supposed to
we
lift
find
each other
that,
and we're supposed to
yes.
work with each other. And I was like, well,
Yes.
if that's how you're doing it, then I want no
But
part
in her defense, she probably came in contact with a lot of females that were like giving females a bad name.
Doing the same.
Yeah, so it's sad to be honest.
But that female gives it a bad name.
Yeah, that's
Right.
true.
Right.
She gives it a
Mhm.
bad name, and then she looks at me like, I'm like, no, I'm actually here to be professional. I'm actually here to work. There was
Right.
my husband just popped in and reminded me. There was one incident recently, actually. It was regarding a fighter that we had promoted and we had been working with him, and his manager wanted a picture that I took of him for free and wanted to make T-shirts out of it to sell. And I said, sure. I sent him a contract and I sent him a price, and I said, if you want the picture to use it for your T-shirt to sell, this is what it is. And he hit back with a very sarcastic email with a lot of laughing emojis, and he said, listen, well, in Spanish, he said, mira niña. And
Wow.
he started off like that and said, and then he CCs him on it and says, you should be careful of the friends you have because they're going to use your pictures and make money off of it and not give you any. I
And
didn't
they
make
will
any
get
money
sued.
off of this guy.
They
Huh?
will get sued. And they will get sued.
Exactly. Made no money off of this guy. But what happens the next day? We run into him at the gym and, we're saying bye to everybody. And my husband goes and tells him, and that was on a business. It wasn't business. It was personal point is you don't email my wife and you don't disrespect her before anything. And he told him, and ever since then, I think that really set the tone moving forward. Anyone does want to say anything to his wife or to me being a female, they're going to deal with him because you don't disrespect the woman at all. And whether he knew who I was or wasn't, you just don't do that, especially over email in person in any way, shape, or form. And him telling him that had nothing to do with him rejecting the price or him wanting to use the picture. It was simply, do not disrespect my wife.
Yeah.
Because she
Absolutely.
has someone here to defend
You see,
her.
that's why I just stay in my little lane. Like I do YouTube videos when I feel like it. I'm not boxing media or nothing. I don't have the patience for no bullshit and
Right.
nothing.
You do
You
what
know,
you
I
want 'cause
probably,
you want to, right?
yeah, I would be walked out of this every venue in handcuffs, like because I'm being belligerent or something like that. I would not handle
Yes, you would,
disrespect from
girl.
anybody.
Yes, you would.
I already know, so so I'm just gonna stay in my little lane and just be a boxing fan from here because I cannot deal with stuff like that. No.
It is. It's stressful. It's so stressful, and it's it discourages you sometimes. But you keep working 10 times harder.
See,
Yeah.
that's sad that you have to work 10 times harder just to get like a respect
yeah.
on the level playing field.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Because you have to
But
prove
it
yourself
is
because you're a
true.
woman.
Absolutely. And it's true. And this is the whole reason why I wanted to do this show, because, you know, women, me coming up in the boxing world, you know, I had a harder time with women than men. You know,
Yeah.
women, the men were bad enough, but then the women were even worse. You know, they don't want to
Oh,
support
Yeah.
you or help you. And I was like, this is not right. We got to help each other. We got to support each other. You know, because there's other women out there like me that are like, you know, they have dreams about this shit, you know, and we got to help each other and pull each other up instead of holding each other down.
You know, Christine, you know that I've been, you know, before COVID would travel so much for work. And you know, I get, you know, I'm when I'm traveling, it's like casual, right? So I'd have like my Ali shirt on, or, you know, my Chavez shirt on. And you know, I'd get challenged at the airport, like TSA guy, or it's just some guy walking by me and he's like, "Oh, what do you know about Ali?" And I was like, "Oh shit," right? I'm like,
yeah. I feel like I must have a resting bitch face because they won't ever try me like that. You gotta have a resting bitch face. Walk around with a resting bitch face. They won't try you
you
like that.
know, and I'm just smiling back, throwing numbers, years, and like opponents, you know,
right.
You shouldn't
and
even have to like do all
exactly.
that at the airport.
I know.
But
You
I'm
should.
just like, are you serious? And this one guy, he was a TSA. I need to find my post and share it with y'all, because I was that day. I was like, this guy, right? And he was just like shook. He's like, oh, you know, right? And I'm like,
Well,
what?
he
Would you
need
do
his
that if I was a
validation.
dude wearing the same
Oh,
shirt?
you got my validation. You
Yep.
know, like you need that.
Yeah. I know. So I'm grateful for the platform that you've created here and have given here. I'm grateful for the guys that are out there that do respect our views and you know, understand that, hey, we're fans too, and we know a little bit about boxing too. I have to give a shout out to, you know, all the guys on the rundown, the boxing rundown, because, you know, whenever I started tuning into to their show and asking questions, and like never once, you know, did the issue of me being a girl, or, you know, did they ever ignore my questions or make any less of my statements and comments, right? So there's some that are out there, but man, it seems like
There are.
recently we've
Definitely there
running
are.
into a lot of, you know, what Micah's been running into. So
There's like 5 or
But
6.
you know, I don't know. Like I gotta stop following certain people because it's the people that follow them that come in and start saying crazy things and they don't know me. So they start, you know, all you gotta do is call me out my name and I'm gonna pop off. Like this
As you
dude
should.
had no idea who I was and he's like, yeah, this bitch was the one who was talking about who was like defending Verdejo. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? And I never called anybody, I never defended Verdejo. Like I'm a female. Why would I like defend
Right.
Verdejo for killing a female and a baby who's pregnant? Like you can't just be throwing shit out there and then to call me a bitch at that and you don't even know who I am. So like so many men are so brave behind their keyboards on Twitter and it's so sad because not that, you know, I would do anything to them myself because I'm a female if I seen them in person, but I know I have family members that would like love to beat these men's asses. Like, and I just would love to have a conversation in person with these men and see if they would have the same energy with my cousins like standing right beside me. And see if
Absolutely.
they would really want to call me a bitch.
They talk
Speaking
shit
about
this
boxing
way.
over boxing, you're gonna call a female a bitch over boxing? Like seriously?
Right.
Like you don't have a sister, you don't have a mother, you don't have a daughter.
mhm,
This is the
that's
way you
right.
speak to females. Like
Yeah.
it's
Absolutely.
crazy.
That's
I
That's
right.
why I
understand.
would say like most of the men, not most, a lot of men on boxing Twitter they have pussies, and that's just that. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. They have periods. They go through the same menstrual cycles as females. They are worse than females. They are worse than females.
That's
Yeah.
Worse
I
than
hate when they
females.
get their periods. They're
I'd rather
so fucking moody.
I'd rather work
Absolutely.
10 times harder now though, because when I was younger, we didn't have this that we have right now. Like I was
Mhm.
such a tomboy and didn't appreciate it, and I didn't,
Oh
you know,
my gosh, me too.
I didn't live that life because there wasn't so many others. And all the little girls right now that are 8, 9, 10 years old and the amateurs, I want you to eventually, by the time they go pro, by the time they
Mhm.
get to that level, not have to work 10 times harder like they do, or
Absolutely.
Yeah.
and not everyone has tough skin. Nathan, you got some tough ass skin, like not
Yes.
all women have
Right.
that tough skin to
That's
be able
For
to
real.
take it like we
For
do.
real.
And it's setting that
That's why
path
they
for
need
them.
these role models.
so
They
that
need
we-
these strong women
Yep.
to show them that it's okay. Do you, boo?
I disrespect men on Twitter all the time. I tell them to suck a dick, choke on a dick, go wipe your pussy. Did you wash your pussy today? I said I don't give a fuck. You're not gonna talk to me crazy over some boxing. You're just not. I could see if I disrespect you, okay. But if you talk
Right.
to me like that over a boxing opinion, I'm gonna tell you to
Absolutely.
suck all
Yeah,
types
that's a
of dirty
little- yeah.
dicks. I don't give a fuck. I do not get two
That's a
fucks.
You know
bullshit.
what? And that's the thing. Like, let's have like, I'll use the word like healthy conversations about boxing, right? Like we
Yeah,
all
like
sport. Like it's not, men versus women. Real quick, Christine, I saw Karai Bradshaw, so Mr. IOT
Yes.
is on. And
Yes.
he's showing us women some love. So
And
thank you,
Angel
Karai.
David Castro too. So shout out to them. Absolutely.
Yep. So,
Absolutely.
I enjoy when like I'm at work or like even like last week I was on some call and we're waiting for somebody to dial in and hey, did you watch the fight? Oh yeah, he liked the other, I like the other, and it was a nice conversation and we stood firm on whose side we were on, but it was fun, right? It
It
didn't
is
get
fun. It
all
should be
nasty,
fun.
it didn't get all dirty.
Absolutely.
look at Jose Game Bread his father. He's like, Nika, I respect you. But then he
Yeah.
always says, Nika, why do you get pissed off at people? And he sees that these people call me a bitch and stuff like that. Like, if
Well, he
you
needs to stick up for
disrespect
you.
me, you cannot tell me how to react and when to get over stuff. Like, I'm going to get
That's
over
true.
it on my time,
We have
and I'm
our
going to
own
disrespect
feelings.
you the way I want to disrespect you because you opened that floodgate. So,
Never
We're
tell us
entitled
to
to our
get
Yeah.
over it.
feelings.
yeah, you can't tell me how to react. You just cannot tell me how to react and
No.
when to get over shit. It's just not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. So your best bet is to just shut your mouth and talk about boxing, and that's it. Don't disrespect me.
like this last weekend fight, what was it, Neri versus what's his name, the last fight that Neri just recently had, the one where he lost,
Figueroa?
Figueroa.
Yeah.
I mean, we're down here in Tijuana in a lot of boxing gyms, and
Yeah,
a
Figueroa,
lot of
Brandon
people
Figueroa.
are rooting for Neri. But today and yesterday, I was like, so what did you think about the fight? And they're like, you know what, he did wrong. And it's those opinions that I respect. Like, you're rooting for someone, but you acknowledge, like, man, they looked horrible, or they didn't do this, or and those are the opinions I like to see. That's why on Twitter, it might have not been the person I rooted for, but I'll like the comments, I'll like the tweets because they're giving facts. Like, okay, didn't perform. He needed more defense. He needed this. But it's like, we just need to be more supportive and realistic. Like, did my fighter lose? Yeah. Did he get knocked out? Yeah, he did. Whatever the case is.
The thing is, a lot of people don't like to be wrong online. They
Yeah.
don't like to be wrong.
Absolutely.
That's like
Especially-
a big thing. They don't like to be wrong. It's
And be
okay if
corrected by
your
women.
prediction didn't pan out. Like you're gonna live. It's all right. If your fighter didn't win, you're gonna be all right. You're gonna live. Like it's not that serious to disrespect people over your boxing opinion, or it's not that serious. Like you're not always gonna be right.
That's true. And
Uh,
that's okay. That's okay. You don't always have to be right, but we all want to be heard because we all have an opinion, and nobody's
Yeah.
opinion is better than the other. Like, we all have an opinion, and it's okay, right or wrong.
That's right.
It's good to
No,
stay
that's-
loyal
that's
to your opinion. And it's good to
Absolutely.
be loyal to that fighter. Just
Win or
be
lose.
realistic and accept.
with
when it's a
you
loss,
could do
accept
it.
when
You
it's
could
a
be
win.
you could be loyal to your fighter and still respect people.
Exactly.
It's possible.
Mhm.
Absolutely. We can agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'd be
You know,
like,
I think
yeah,
I
he
think the
fucked up.
first
He didn't do
episode
well.
we had, we disagreed a little bit, but it was good. The guys are
Yeah,
going crazy.
nobody
Like, oh,
calls
y'all
anybody.
disagreed.
Like, oh, bitch, you know what? I don't like it because you over there with that guy. Like, you don't have to do all that.
Absolutely not.
I don't even know
So-
how I got involved in boxing Twitter, but I want to get out of it. I really do. I want to get out of it. I want to get out of it so bad. Like, I want to sign those papers to get me out of boxing Twitter because I don't want no parts of it. Because everybody thinks I'm like, some people think that I'm the one that incite these things. Like, I do not start these things.
You
I don't let the shit.
No.
I don't let shit go. I admit
You
that I
don't.
don't know how to let shit go. that's my downfall. I do not know how to let shit go. But if you know this, or if you don't start with me, then you don't have no problem.
I think that's a female thing. Like we kind of like hold on to things, and you know
Yeah, because
that's just,
they just take it a step too far. Like I start disrespecting people once you start calling me out my name. Once you call me a bitch, then
yeah.
that's it. I'm gonna call you all types of shit up on the stuff, and
My
I'm not
husband and
gonna
I have been
stop
married
until I'm
20
satisfied.
years, and I'll be like, remember when we went on our first date and you said this? And he's like, oh my God, that was like almost 20 years ago. I was like, yeah, but something made me think about that. And he's like, oh, Lord,
Something
have mercy.
triggered
Yeah,
it.
we do not know how to let shit go, and I am the queen of not letting shit go, and I'm the queen of pulling up receipts on Twitter, and
Right.
like I can argue back and forth with people all the time, but what I'm not gonna do is lie on people. So if you said something, and I can find it with a receipt, then I'm gonna be like, hey, this is you, and remember this? You remember this when you said this? That's what I'm gonna do. But I'm not gonna lie and say you said something just to prove a point. Like that's what I'm not gonna do.
That's true.
But yeah,
See, that's why
bossing
when I
Twitter
get
is
on Twitter, it's either like fight days or it's for certain things. But I try no, that's too much
because
time
That's
and
true.
energy, and I live in my positive bubble.
sometimes it makes my
Absolutely.
work day go by fast. That's why I be
I
on
know.
there, but it never it never pans out
I
good
do
for
go
me.
read all
I'm
your
always arguing
comments
with
stuff.
folks. I'm always arguing with folks because these men are so disrespectful. It's crazy.
So we're gonna before we get to like the grand finale, which is the fight this weekend. I definitely want to talk about something. So last night, so Tracy, you were like logged into Hispanics Causing Panic, as I was
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
And Hannah Gabriel's was on there, which I love. That's my girl.
Oh, she's so adorable.
Isn't she awesome? She's
Mhm.
I love her. But David Benavides was on there.
Yes.
And I mean, I was a fan before, but like after the interview, I'm like a mega fan now.
He
so I want to
was
talk about him.
sharp. Like
Absolutely.
wow. He kept shit real. He's like, no, that didn't happen. That wasn't said. That didn't. No.
Yes.
I'm like,
yes.
he's got his shit together. Like, and I loved it.
He may be the new boogeyman. Like he
I
was like,
really
I'll
liked
take
him.
Canelo, Charlo, Plant.
Yeah. And
What do you Nancy? What do you think about David Benavides? He's
So
young,
I like
he's strong.
I like David, right? And so if you go back and look at his journey, it's been a tough one.
Yes.
He I think has been open about the challenges that he's had in life, the ups and downs, and so that story in itself, for personally, makes me real happy to see him at the place that he's at right now, because I think he's accepted, the mistakes made, decisions that were made that he shouldn't have made.
Yeah.
We don't know what else goes on, in a boxer's life outside of what is shared and, what we read about, but clearly so much deeper and so much more. But man, this place that he's at right now, I love it, right? It gets me
Yeah,
pumped because I
me
think we
too.
all knew he has that potential. We knew he had that potential. And seeing that he's coming in with that attitude now, and it's a good attitude, right? Shoot, I even saw a post where he was owning it, because they kept asking him, oh, about Canelo, or whoever they were asking. He's like, balls in their court. I don't have the power to make a decision right now, right? So instead of
Do you
his
think he
belt.
beats Canelo?
oh no,
Well,
that's like
well,
I'm
Everybody
a
just like,
Jesus fan right now.
okay. Let's start with Charlo.
okay.
Plant. Let's start with Charlo.
I
Do we
Does
think
he
think
beat
that
Charlo?
I think
does
he does.
Benavidez beat Charlo?
Yes. Does Benavides beat Charlo?
Oh, that's
Which Charlo?
well, but and which
Yeah, the big
Benavidez
one.
though? It's got to be which Benavidez, because like, is it
No,
gonna be the
David.
David. So
Not
No, I mean,
right.
like, is
Not
it gonna
Jose.
be?
David.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like prior Benavides.
Yeah,
Or
like the one that missed weight Benavidez, like
right,
that.
right. I
Well,
know what
the
you're saying. I know what
Benavides
you're saying.
today. Oh, I got okay. The Benavides today, the one that says he will beat Canelo, he will beat Charlo, he will beat Plant. The new and improved. I got a wife and a baby. No more drugs and no more
That
playing
child
Right.
around.
changed
Yeah,
him.
that
They
snow
calling
storm
everybody
he was
out.
sniffing at.
I think he beats Charlo. I think he beats Charlo. I don't think he can beat Canelo. I think Plant would make for a real good fight. But I still
I
think Plant
agree.
would.
Yeah,
So
I agree with that.
against those three, the one he could beat is Charlo, and he needs that, right? So that should be his next fight because I think that
He
that
does
would
need
really
that.
give him that boost.
On
He
his
needs to
road
start getting
to.
those belts to get to get to Canelo.
Like he lost the belt on the scale.
That's right.
So
Yeah, that's why he needs to
scale
start
scale
getting
beat
those
him.
belts. He needs to start
Yeah.
getting those belts to get back to Canelo. So he needs to start with Charlo. Plant has what the IBO.
Right.
He has one.
Mhm.
But he's I think he's new and improved.
Yeah,
I
he's
believe
got
what he's
the
saying.
one. He's got the golden ticket.
He's
I
got,
think
yeah,
a disciplined Benavidez beats Plant too,
Yeah.
and Plant knows that. That's why he kind
I
of
do
like
too.
his way into
but
sitting into a
even
Canelo fight.
Charlo is saying that he wants him to be vaccinated and all this other stuff. He's already
Yeah,
making
it's like, come
excuses.
on, yeah, come on,
So
come
Nigel,
on.
so this David Benavidez today that says he's disciplined and he's ready. Does he beat Charlo?
A disciplined one, I think, would be Charlo.
Okay.
The only person I think that he would Charlo probably that Benavidez wouldn't beat is the Canelo because I love Canelo and I feel like a body shot from Canelo would just like demolish Benavidez. His body in the midsection is not equipped for Canelo body shots. They're just not.
Okay. Tracy, what do you think? Does he beat Charlo?
After the Benavidez I saw yesterday, absolutely. I think he would beat Charlo.
Yeah.
I think
won't.
he's
So
I think a lot has changed for him, and I think
Yeah.
Yeah.
it has to do with, I mean, I don't know, actually. I can't say it has to do with, but I'm thinking that, maybe having a child. He said he moved up to Washington State to be with his, his wife.
He
I don't know
says
if
wife.
married.
He says wife
Wife.
now.
Yeah. So that, I mean, that changes your whole outlook. And he was saying like his goal is to be in the Hall of Fame. Like that is awesome.
So
He
you think
wants
if
his
they put a
child
little
to be proud of him. That changed him. And I think
so you think if they put a little plate of Coke in front of him, he'll say no? Just
You know
ask.
what,
That's
Micah? Coke is a serious
He
ass
should.
drug.
He better
You know
It
what?
is. That's why I like.
And I hope
If
to
if you
God-
beat that, then you deserve whatever accolades you come.
I
after,
hope
you
to
know,
God
you-
he does
you
not have
earn.
yes men around him. I hope he has.
He has to
Men
change
that'll be like,
whoever he was,
hell to
whatever
the
circle he
nah-nah.
was in with that he was doing that with.
You
He
have
needs to
change
like
your friends.
all of that. Yeah, all of that because I feel
doesn't
like
seem like he's with
you
that
because
circle.
you just gotta. All it takes is just one night of partying with one of your friends like that, and they put
Absolutely.
it. Oh, one line won't hurt, and then that's all
That's
she
true.
wrote. You know.
You're right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That to me, I would just love to have a hidden camera and then somebody offer him some. If he says no, then you know what? Then Benavidez, I'm on your team.
Nike's like, boom.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Busted. I just think that the whole yesterday I just saw a completely different person. I really
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
I'm rooting for him.
Yeah.
For
I
him.
was like,
Esmeralda,
I liked him, but then like after yesterday,
you loved
it's like,
him.
he's got his
That's-
shit together now.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
want
how-
to see you not making weight and losing a belt anymore. Like that.
Right.
That was, I had worked with fighters back in the day. I'm like, I would kick your ass if you didn't make weight and you lost a belt. I mean, fuck no.
Girl, I've been there.
Yeah,
Been there.
I've stood there while it was an hour before.
Because it reflects
weigh-ins.
everybody, not just
And
the
I'm like,
fighter.
run your ass off, you fat ass. You got 1 pound to go. Let's go. Let's get it on. Like standing there, like but it's like that's just I'm just a tough ass, and I just saw a different person yesterday, and it was very refreshing. He was just like sharp, and I think just maybe the whole child thing changed him. He has bigger
Yeah,
goals.
and that's the mental part of it is so important, and it seems
Absolutely.
like his mind is better. His mental
Yeah.
part is good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Esmeralda, does he beat Charlo?
I believe so. Been a fan of Bandera Roja for a little while now. I believe he does beat Charlo, and he beats Plant. For Canelo, I really think he's got some
Cam.
height advantage and some stuff on there, but I don't think he can beat
Damn
Canelo.
it. Wait, that
Yeah,
way.
we won't talk about Canelo yet. We're gonna say
Yeah.
talk
Two-
about
yeah.
Charlo. We're
And
gonna talk about
Plant.
Plant.
Berlanga.
Yeah.
Canelo
Mhm.
later. We're gonna see
Canelo
what he
is
does with
cracking
it.
faces, man. Canelo is cracking faces.
Right.
Cracking
That's a-
faces. So
right,
can we shout out Long Live Boxing? He said Coke Cam.
Cam.
Yeah.
That's a
Absolutely.
I'm sorry because that's a hard drug to stop using, even if you been
Yes.
training. You could be training for like 2 fights and be
And
clean.
someone
It just
just-
takes one whoop. It just that's it. You back to the same shit.
That's
It's
true.
definitely
he
like
didn't even
a
stop.
yeah.
That's true.
But like Tracy said, his goals are bigger now, and he's
Yes.
it's like he sees this path that he wants to get to, and I really do think if he's focused and he's really disciplined, he's gonna try his hardest to get to that path, and we're gonna see a new Benavidez in the ring, and he's just gonna progress from there. Just like when everyone said, "Oh, Teofimo Lopez he's not gonna win, he's not gonna do this," but he also had that. I mean, his mind was set on this path that he was gonna win and he was gonna become this champion. He was gonna do more, and I think that's the same thing I'm seeing with Benavidez is that he's got his mindset where he's going now, and good luck trying to stop him getting there.
But
Yeah.
it's only
That's
been
something
one
else.
fight. It's only been one fight, right? Since he missed weight. It's only
No.
been one. Like
That
he
was
missed
it.
that was
the
like
last
one
fight
fight.
that he made weight, but before that he missed it, right? So you gotta show
I
me
think
more.
so,
Like
yeah.
one fight and you talking is not gonna convince me. You gotta show me more. Right? One camp and one
Like,
fight is not
yeah.
gonna do it for
You
me.
gotta
Yeah,
show me
he said-
some.
You gotta
stuff.
show and prove. Show
He's got
and
a fight
prove.
He's
coming up.
Okay.
clear though.
He said he's got a fight coming up. Watch the interview on HCP that was
It was so
yesterday
good.
on D Styles channel, and
Shout out to the guys.
yeah,
They do
shout out
good.
to D Style, G Funky, Maestro, Calix, all
Yeah.
those guys. Like you'll see a whole different person, and then that's what Christina and I saw yesterday because I
He
was in there.
sold me. See, that's what Wilder has to do. He has to be like,
You
we
gotta
have to
show
see
and
that
prove.
soft
You gotta show
side.
and prove.
We want to see
Yes.
that soft side.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes. Get to that
yes, Wilder.
to that point
Oh,
where you're like, I
baby.
acknowledge, I own it, but here's who I am now, right? Like get to that point. And I'm gonna
Yes.
tell you that regardless of the outcome, right? Like does he win fights? Does he not win fights? I think he will, right? I think he'll win some, but regardless, he's an entertaining fighter, and now being clear-headed, right? He's gonna make you some awesome fights. So he's gonna give fans some really good fights. He's gonna put on some good fights. I think, win or lose, I'm excited about, what he's gonna give us now that he's been clear. And it's not like he just recently, cleared up from the use. I mean, it's been a while now. And if he can stay this way, seeing what he's
That we
like
know
what
of.
you said, his demeanor, his that humbleness, Christine, that you talked about, right? The owning it. But here's where I'm now hungry, and here are the reasons why I'm hungry. Like it makes the fans, right, gravitate.
Yes. He said
Absolutely.
he wants his child to be proud of him, to talk about him, that his dad was a badass when he fought back in the day,
Mhm.
and he wants to be in the Hall of Fame. Like that's
Right.
That's
It's like, right.
that's like goals that are like unbelievable. Like
Right.
that's what you want from fighters. You don't want fighters to be like, I just want, and that's the other thing he talked about, Christine. Remember he said, like, he isn't about the big paychecks. He just
The
wants to
money.
fight.
He said,
And that-
I think his biggest payday was 1 point something million, and like
One point,
he
yeah.
doesn't care. He'll fight for that again. Like it wasn't even
Right,
about the money.
yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy,
Yeah, he's changed. It was a
Yeah.
great interview yesterday. And I was
It
like,
really
wow,
was. It
who
really
is
was.
this guy? Like, where is it? Wow, it was just awesome.
Just like
That's the
Nancy
kind
said.
I just had such a respect, especially when he mentioned his child and wanting to be his child to be like talking about him like his dad was a badass and he wants to be in the Hall of Fame. Like those are like amazing goals.
Absolutely.
And that shows a lot of change.
Yes.
And like Nancy
absolutely.
said, you know, we're gonna see a new Benavides, but he's gonna gain new fans too, and that just hypes you
Absolutely.
up more. Whether he
Mhm.
wins or loses, he's gonna gain all these new fans and all these people that want to see him fight because he gives a good fight, and you know he's gonna get more confidence, whatever it is. But he's just gonna grow from there.
He's got an arsenal. He's really good.
He is. He really is. He
So I'm
is
glad
good.
he's cleaned up and on.
Yeah, I want him to stay that way because I'll be getting. I hate to be
Mhm.
disappointed and put my faith in people, and then you do
get
some
that
dumb
Coke
shit again.
can
You're gonna be out
out.
there with
Where's
that Coke
it at?
cam.
Where's that Coke
You
can?
know, all you have if you really want to break a person, a man who does coke, you just gotta put some coke on somebody's ass, and if they sniff that shit off, then you're back to your old ways.
But is it
But
the Coke or is it the ass? Like, that's not fair.
you know
It's
what?
both.
That's true. That's not fair. But if you're disciplined, you discipline.
I think he's just in a better place
That's a
where
double
he's
whammy.
like, might be like Coke or I want my child to be proud of me.
Yeah, if he needs to be
It
like
seems like
focused
that's where
on
his
like
head
the
is.
big fights with him and Canelo and like just stay focused, and then I think that he could. But my pet peeve is just like, how do you lose your belt on freaking scale? Like that is crazy to me.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
you lose your belt on the
It
scale.
happens
Like,
more
the
often than we
scale,
know.
they need to make
Yeah.
a box rec account for a scale because a scale has a lot of wins with
Humiliate
belts.
them.
Yeah, they take a lot of belts from fighters. They should definitely put. I'm gonna ask Box Rec Grade to see if they could make a box rec for a scale
For
because
the scale.
they got a
Nike
lot of
Tyson
wins.
rule.
A lot of wins. A lot of wins.
You know,
That's true.
so earlier, one of you ladies, sorry, I forgot who said it, but one of y'all made the point of, how important it is for him not to be associating himself with that same crowd, right? With those same friends and such. I think, what I admire, because what is most challenging is when that's coming from within your family structure, right? And again, when you look at Benavides and his history and the family, it's a boxing family. There's been a lot within the family structure, and that makes it even harder, right? To get out of that environment. And so, kudos that he's fighting through that and fought through that. Hopefully, he stays that way, not just through the crowd, but even just the what's at home, right? What challenges are posed at home. So I'm excited. I'm excited for
Sometimes you
him.
gotta cut your family off. Sometimes if they're not bringing anything good to you, then you gotta cut them off. And then hopefully, if it is those people in his family, hopefully he didn't. He's like, you know what? You may be family and blood, but I got my own immediate family that I need to look after and myself. So
That's right.
Absolutely.
We need to look up the record of a scale to see how many belts have the scale has have the
There's
Girl,
so
scale
many
you'd
gotten.
belts
be
out there
surprised.
as it is.
It's a large
more
number.
than
I'm
you
pretty
know.
sure. Yeah, so many fighters have lost their
that's
belt
the
on the
real
scale.
champ.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Maybe.
there's an undisputed champ that was not spoken of,
It's
and
the
it's the scale.
Yeah,
The real OG.
that's true.
Yeah. The real
That's
Hall of
absolutely
Famer.
true.
I'm gonna ask Box Rec Great for real to see if they can make like a little funny part on their
A
website to
different
see if they
belt. There's like a scale belt, like something
A scale.
with a scale. Yeah.
because
A golden scale.
for most fighters, well, for all fighters, your camp should be just sharpening up your tools. It shouldn't be a fat camp. Like, you should not be focused on losing
Thank
weight.
you.
Absolutely.
Your whole camp. It should be
Yeah.
sharpening up your skills. So
I
like,
will say that when I'm in camp, when we're with the USA team, we weigh 3 times a day. In the morning, after our first workout, and at night in the evening after our second workout. We're weighing 3 times a day. And I'll talk to people, I'll talk to guys, because I know my people, whatever. They're like, oh, so and so didn't make weight. I was like, let me tell you something. Sometimes you got to babysit grown folks. You weigh them
Absolutely.
every day. I weigh my guys at the gym too. When we have something going on, we weigh them every single day. You're grown, it doesn't matter. Get on the scale. I'm going to write it down. We're going to see how much you weigh.
Somebody in the
Yeah, he
comments,
was in the
But I don't
bubble. You're
trust
right.
you.
somebody in the comments, which one of my friends, B Dale, he said he was the first fighter in the bubble before they had the proper equipment to help fighters make weight. I forgive him.
That's true. He did.
No,
touch
no,
the
but no,
bubble.
no. His opponent made
Mike is
weight.
like, no.
His opponent made weight, and I feel like here goes another thing. A lot of fighters spend money on jewelry, cars, and like, you know, I get it. You get money, you want to spend it and look flashy, whatever, but they don't invest in nutritionists. They do
Thank
not
you.
invest in
And I got the
nutritionists.
best nutritionists. My girls, perfecting athletes.
Yeah,
They
you
do
gotta
all the
invest
world
in your
champions.
nutritionist, and
Call
that
them.
would not have
They're
been
the
an issue.
best.
You can't say that, oh, he was in the bubble, so he didn't have the equipment. Your opponent made weight, so that's not an
Yeah.
excuse. If both of them missed weight, okay, but your opponent made weight. He had the same he had the same access to all the things in the hotel or whatever. So no, I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all.
Sometimes
go
you
sit
wonder
in the
when
sauna,
they
go-
can't make weight that they might be in the wrong weight division. Usually when it's a struggle to make the weight, but I don't know.
Or they're
See,
not
somebody said everyone on that card made weight except for him.
Right.
So what's
Yeah.
that's not an excuse. Everybody made weight except for you. And
Yeah.
everybody had access to the same thing. So no.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
okay. So,
You so mean, Nico.
You're
What
so
the
mean.
fuck?
Nika,
Get
you mean.
the fuck off the damn comments, yo. You just want attention. Now at this point you pissing me off. You doing too much. Get off the comments, yo. You are so mean, Nico. Really?
so mean. I'm so scared. Oh.
Come on. guys.
Okay, so
Throw
we
some
have
balls.
to talk about the fight this weekend. So this is going to be a conversation where some of us will agree and some of us will disagree, but it's okay because it's all love, and we're going to go around the panel. So this weekend, Jose Ramirez and Josh Taylor. This weekend, and I am blessed enough to be able to go to that fight. I'm leaving tomorrow.
Damn.
You have a ticket?
Can I hold your
Media.
purse for you? I want to go.
Oh
I'm
wow.
media only for the press conference and the weigh-ins, but I have a ticket for the fight. So,
Oh, okay.
How did you get the ticket for the fight? They was like sold out. Oh,
Girl,
congratulations!
like
Congratulations to you. It
Girl,
was
let me
only
tell
there's
you.
only like 1,500 tickets, right?
there are.
Wow.
I
I feel
got
like
that- I
I
got a
feel like they did that
connection,
fight a disservice. That fight deserved
Thank
way
you,
more.
because that's one
way
of the
more
I'm
than
sorry,
that.
that's one of the biggest fights of the year to me, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
it was not getting a lot of recognition at all.
At all.
None.
And this
None.
week is still this week. We're already
Nothing.
today's
It's all
Wednesday.
about
I know.
Joshua.
Right now it's just Joshua. Yeah, Joshua
It's
Wilder
no,
and Fury right now. That's what's taking
Yeah,
over. Like this fight, definitely a disservice has been.
Exactly. So Nancy, we're talking about the Jose Ramirez and the Josh Taylor fight. And
Yes.
so I'm going to go around the panel, and we're going to talk about who we think is going to get the W and why. So we're going to start with you.
Okay. So just to preface my answer, I actually did a little research and I was watching, some of the fights, some of Josh Taylor's prior fights. Most recently, took a look at his fight against Regis to, compare and get a sense of what he's got and comparing it to Ramirez. It's hard because I can see Taylor winning, but if I have to choose,
Being a boxing aficionado, a boxing head, not but
I know.
Brain.
I'm gonna say Taylor.
Ooh.
Who do I want to win is different, but who I think will
Yeah,
win,
who do you want to
who I
win?
think will win,
And who is going to win?
right? Well, I want Ramirez to win. Who I think is gonna win is Taylor.
Jesus.
But I want Ramirez to win. But if I have to put it out there based on what I saw, saw some highlights, some of the prior fights, I'm like, man, he's good. He's good. But it's hard. I got to stick to what I said though.
Okay. Nika.
I have Ramirez winning. And
Why,
if he doesn't win, I have him. I feel like he's just gonna gut it out. I'm not convinced with Taylor. That's my opinion. I'm entitled to it.
Mhm.
I'm entitled to it. If Ramirez doesn't win by decision,
Yep.
I call it a draw. They'll try to make another fight with a bigger audience next time because
And
they
more-
did
and
this
more
fight as a service, so
publicity.
they didn't. This is really disgusting. They should not
They
be in this
should've
little
blown it- they
venue.
should've blown it
Come
up.
on, man.
They
This
should've
little
blown it
ass
up.
venue. Yeah, so I feel like it might be a draw, and they're gonna try to like squeeze the money that they should have got it out of this first
Absolutely.
fight.
Bigger venue.
Bigger venue, and just more fans, more money involved. So I could see a definitely a draw for a bigger fight excitement because nobody's talking about this damn fight this weekend. It's
I know.
crazy.
I
Yeah.
know. It is crazy. Okay, Tracy, who you got?
I got Ramirez on this one. I think he's just. It's so. The thing is like I usually don't predict unless it's Canelo. Then I'm like, oh, Canelo's gonna win. Easy.
That's a win-win.
But with like I always say in boxing, like it's so hard to predict because you never know what the hell's gonna happen. You don't
That's
know
a prediction.
if-
Your prediction is not fact. It's your opinion on who you think is gonna win. That's
So in this case, I've got Ramirez. I just feel like he is the stronger of the two, and I think I got him winning.
Okay. All right.
And
But
that is
sorry, go ahead.
I got him winning. Like,
I already know you.
I just can't wait to see it. It's like this is a badass fight, and it's sad that it didn't get a lot of a lot
Girl.
of
and I
Tell
think
me
they probably they noticed that, and that's why I feel like
It
it's
should've
gonna
been
be a draw,
so much
and they're gonna
better.
run it
Yeah.
again and do a better job at it next
Or
time.
a clear robbery so that people
That's-
want to see it again.
Again, yeah,
Yeah.
Real win
Yeah.
fight.
And for a rematch, yeah. Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do
Especially, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
it. Oh,
I mean, it happens
definitely
often.
action-packed fight.
it does.
Yeah, it's a good brawl
Okay.
between these two guys. It really is.
I'm Team
Yeah,
Ramirez.
I'm excited. It's going to be a good fight. As I was watching, all these other fights, for both of them, I'm like, dang, it's going to make a real good fight, right? And I do hope that a lot of people, will tune in and be on because I think it's going to make for a good fight. I don't see this, ending in like a 1 or 2 round. I think we'll get, if anything, a by decision type deal. But it's going to go into the later rounds, and it's going to be a really good fight.
Yeah, we don't like draws. We don't like that. Yeah.
Somebody put in the comments that they have Ramirez winning because he's been more active than Taylor. What was Taylor's last fight? Was it that Pro Grace win?
Yeah, it was Regent. Yeah,
That's his last fight. Oh yeah.
Was it?
Come
Oh,
on.
Taylor. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a long time. That was a long time ago. That really was a long time ago. And he had like this. His eye was like looked like a demon coming out of it. It was crazy.
But Ramirez is just in a good state. I mean, he's in a good environment right now, and he's really hungry. So I think everybody that's not rooting for
He
Ramirez
can't
is
leave it
like,
in the judges hands. He's gotta I have to knock him out because if not, they're gonna set it up the way they're gonna try to bleed this
Judges are horrible
fight
in
out.
boxing. They're so inconsistent in boxing. It's unbelievable.
I think he knows that. I think he knows he has to do a knockout to not leave it up to the judges. But I do think he's a bit more stronger than Taylor.
Yeah, Steven, you're right. Wow, yeah.
So Esmeralda, so you are picking Ramirez? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, so do y'all want to
Sticking
hear
to my
my
guns.
prediction? Do y'all want to hear my prediction?
Yeah.
I have a feeling.
I have a
though.
feeling. Yeah.
Of course we do.
So what is y'all's feeling? Who am I picking?
I think you
Taylor.
got Ramirez.
Yeah.
Taylor.
I think Ramirez.
Esmeralda, who do I have?
Taylor.
Okay. Yes, Esmeralda. I have Taylor.
I think you got Ramirez.
I'll tell you why. So I believe that Taylor can fight long, middle, and close distance. I believe that Ramirez can only fight close
You
distance.
have Taylor too?
I do. I believe that
I'm
Ramirez
not the
cannot
lone wolf then.
off, and that he does not have a good defense. I believe that
Mhm.
Taylor's defense is his offense. I believe
Yeah.
that although Ramirez is very strong, I believe that Taylor is a bit stronger, and he can box. Ramirez is a brawler. And I think that it'll go in the later rounds, but I believe that Taylor will stop him
Yes.
probably in the 8th or 9th round.
Unless Ramirez makes it his fight, his type of fight, the brawl, you know?
And the only way that he'll do that is if he hurts Taylor in the early rounds and he can
Right,
get inside. But Taylor is gonna be, he can, like I said, he can fight long, middle, or close distance. So he's gonna keep him outside. He's not gonna let him in.
Yeah.
That's right. The defense is a big key because that's what I was observing,
Absolutely.
Christine. That's why I went with Taylor, right? Going back to love Ramirez and what he's doing and love his story.
Absolutely.
But you
And
can't-
me too.
you
I
can't-
love his story. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm Mexican. So I'm like, yes,
That's
but
right.
but as a
Mhm.
boxing head, you know,
Yes.
you gotta look
Taylor
at the
box-
styles.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And when you look at that, you know, that's a good point. You know, Tracy, you know, he could make it his fight, right? If he does hurt him early.
Yes.
And I think it could happen.
Get
But just
inside
from
and get
what I
that
saw,
fight.
you know, if he's disciplined though, and he sticks to what his corner says, then he won't bite into it, you know, and that's when it'll be a challenge for Ramirez, right?
Yeah.
So it's a good fight nonetheless. I mean, really, and truly.
Absolutely. I can't wait for this
This
one.
is what
Really.
fans want to see.
Yeah, and they both have great body shots, but I think Taylor is more of a boxer puncher than Ramirez is more of a puncher. And then Taylor being southpaw too is kind of a problem.
Mhm.
So I'm excited. Like I just can't wait. Like no matter who wins, I'll be happy. I'm just excited.
Christine
Like,
has the golden ticket. It's like
girl,
Charlie Chocolate.
girl,
You definitely have the golden ticket. They only have
girl,
so many
I'm
tickets.
So happy.
It's crazy.
I feel
They
so blessed to be able to be there. Trust me, I'm excited.
You have to
God,
post
I
everything.
miss- I
yeah, you
love
gotta have to, and you gotta be a bully this week too, Christine. Don't be letting people get
I
in front of
do,
you.
Nika.
Yeah,
You right.
Push
I
them.
do. I
Get
really
in.
do.
Get in that front.
you don't.
I'm
Don't.
like
I
right
remember you
there,
posted
like, I
that
can
last
touch
the last
him.
for Canelo fight. And people were like, "Oh, they had the cameras all in your
I
face in
know.
front of you."
I
Do
know.
not let them bully you.
I know.
Get out of the way.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
You know,
I'm
so just a little, Christine, you know, we're going to be living it like vicariously through you. So you'll have to be sharing your pictures, sharing your
I can't
videos.
let y'all down.
I need
Please.
to see you. I need to see your camera in front of somebody else's face and asking questions like that. The way
Make
they
sure
do-
you're live.
Yeah.
Make sure you're live when Ramirez wins.
You know what? Let me tell you something. I will not be like Wilder. If I lose, I'm gonna be like, you know what, guys? The better man won tonight.
Yeah.
I will
Yep.
Yes.
I
It
will
was
say
just-
it absolutely.
It was just mentally, he was better and stronger.
That's right.
I will admit it if I lose. I don't think I will, but if I do, I will admit it. Absolutely.
She knows something. There's something suspect up there.
I really think they're gonna try to get another fight out of
seen
this.
them
I
try.
swear.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
'Cause
Definitely.
this
No,
one-
you know what?
I feel like they scheduled this on the COVID type scheduling,
Yeah.
not knowing that it was gonna kind of clear up a little bit. So I feel like they did like a deal with the hotel already, and it was already too much money involved,
Yeah.
and they could only it was just like whatever. We'll just roll with it, and we'll next time we'll do better.
Absolutely. Nancy, they could have had it here in Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Jerry World.
I love how
Wide
you
open.
said that yesterday in the chat, and I'm like, Jerry World, and I was like, do these guys get it? I get it. 'Cause,
They didn't get it.
I'm like, he owns Cowboys.
I know.
I'm like, I don't
You know what though?
Jerry's World. But I'm not in Texas. I'm in Chicago, so I kind of
Yeah.
I wish
Come
we
on
had
down,
more-
girl. Come on down.
more venues here. Yeah,
It's
I know that's what.
exciting
But
to
Texas
see.
has
It's
been
exciting
kind
to
of
see all the
showing
boxing
out.
that's been coming to Texas, right?
They've been showing out.
I'm
There've been a
loving
lot of
it.
fights.
I
No,
think
there've
what-
been a lot of fights, like a lot of amateur
I know.
fights.
So
in
we
the
have to
crowd.
fly you down.
Yes.
No, but in a
We'll
lot of
fly
amateur
you
fights in
all
the
down.
crowd. A
That's
lot
why-
of people
that's
been
why
getting
our
drunk
section's
and then
coming
fighting.
You know what? We have.
Yeah, what was? They fought. I was like, what the hell
I'm
is
gonna-
going on?
You know
What
what?
was that?
We're gonna have a live
I'm going to tell you though, what's
round
been
table.
sad is that we've been having Texas. What's been sad is that Texas has been getting a bad rep for some of these scorecards. For some of these decisions, some of these
Yeah, a lot of
ref
people say
decisions.
Texas has the worst judges.
They're
Yes.
lies. They're all lies. Everybody does
there's-
that. Everybody has bad calls. What is her Ella? What's her name?
Chicago.
Bird. What's her name?
Wait.
She's not from Texas. What's her name?
No,
Chanel
Christine.
Elaine Bird, whatever her name
Bird,
is.
yeah, I was like Canelo's girl.
Yeah,
They
she's
always
not from
clown her
Texas.
online for Canelo.
It happens everywhere, and it's just it is what it is. So we have one bad call, and then it's just like a rumor. We're just the horror of boxing.
No, there's
But it's
definitely been a
okay.
lot of fights in the crowd though. Like I made a joke. I made a joke a couple
They
of
were
weeks
in
like
California too,
the
though.
fans have to
Esmeralda,
like.
they were in California too.
That's right. That's
No,
right.
they were.
Yeah,
they
at the
were.
Ruiz
And they
fight.
were at
Yeah,
the Dodgers.
California
Yeah,
and
I heard it
and
was
Texas.
Padre fans that came in and started
Yeah.
the fight.
I said all the fans now they have to go through a camp themselves now because you don't know if you're gonna be on the super on the card in the stand.
You got to take a
underground
week of a
card.
boxing class.
Yeah, make sure you don't get your ass beat when you purchase your ticket.
So what we need to do is we need to all have a real round table. We need to come there. Everybody, we're gonna all bring y'all down to Texas. We're gonna have a round table
Yes.
in Texas
Well,
with a
that would
big
be
fight.
dope as
The
fuck.
next big fight. So Canelo's been coming to Texas, and Mikey Garcia has a lot of cards down here too, where he's promoting.
He
and stuff,
does.
too. So
He
we
does.
need to do that. Fly y'all down here, and then we'll have a real live table. Round
Barrera's
table.
out in Texas right now too.
Yeah, exactly. So we're
Yeah,
gonna plan that.
Where is everyone at? I'm in Chicago. Where?
I'm in the Bronx,
You're in
but
the
then
Bronx?
pretty soon
So
I'll
you're
be in
far-
Florida.
Yeah, you're
I'll
like,
be in Florida soon though.
Good.
That's where a lot of these fights are starting to
A
happen now
lot of
too
my
here
people
in Miami.
are in Florida, Nike.
You got
A lot
Triller
of
Yeah,
out
my
there's
people are in Florida.
Miami. Trilla is doing the Miami thing now, so it's like
Yeah, and I have a lot of friends in Florida.
yeah.
So and I'm in Dallas, Texas.
Yep. So I'm in
Nancy is
the
too.
Dallas Fort Worth area. Mhm.
And we never met,
Really? Oh,
crazy.
you guys are right there. Yeah.
and we didn't even know.
so I'm the only.
I know,
only
we're
one
not.
right in the middle.
It's gonna
We're
happen
going to. It's
I want to
definitely
run. I
gonna
want to run into some Twitter folks. And
before.
I do.
You will.
There's some people I would like from Twitter that I'd like to beat their ass.
That's what I was saying, but I was saying it in a nice way because
New York
Yeah.
and Chicago, our personalities are
Yeah.
very similar.
let me tell you, let's end this on a
Whip
good
them
note.
tricks.
Well, in Texas we're real friendly.
Yeah, I think the person's ass that I want to beat is in Cali though. So that's just what it is.
We
'cause-
all know who you're talking about.
yeah, I won't even say the bitch name because she's not even worth it.
Yeah,
But
we
she supposedly
find
said
out.
that you're not
can
you're
talk
not a
this
real
little
Maybe
boxing
she's
nonsense.
fan
watching.
Just
unless you
say
have
it with a
credentials or anything like that. Like you're not a. She supposedly said that you're not a real boxing fan unless you have credentials. Like who the fuck says that?
Girl, please, I can't even.
Everybody doesn't get credentials to a fight, and nobody's fucking people to get credentials for a fight. Like get the fuck out of here.
And I'm not even trying to pull out all my credentials.
There's so many different fans around the world. Like most fans, we watch fights from home. If you're lucky enough
not
to
gonna
be able
prove- I'm not
to
gonna
attend
my
a
worth
fight,
on,
then kudos to
Twitter.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
damn.
crazy
That's true.
shit.
Okay, final thoughts. Who wants to start?
I just want to
Nancy.
say,
Okay,
I want to. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna say, the men on boxing Twitter, stay out your feelings. Stay out of your feelings. Wipe your pussy from the front to the back,
front to the back, absolutely.
and start respecting women more because it's not that serious. We can love the sport too. Have a good night.
That's me right there.
Absolutely. Nancy, you want to go next?
How do you follow that? I mean, it's like, Christine, I of course want to thank you, for hosting this and giving us this
It's awesome.
platform.
Yes,
I know that you have a lot going on. And I want to say, congratulations to you and everything you got going. Can't wait to hear, when you come back from your out of country trip. We can't wait to hear all the awesome things, that you and your gym and your fighters are doing. So, thank you. And I just want to tell everybody, let's be more than a fan. Please, follow me on Boxing Republic. I'm pending 501c3 nonprofit status so that we can be more than fans and help the boxing community continue to grow. So that's all I got. Thank you.
Corey said he wants to make sure he's friends with everybody on Facebook.
I'm
You
so
have
I'm done.
Okay.
it's tagged on the you have the streaming live on Facebook too, right?
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Yeah, because somebody put my whole government name on there. Fernando.
Tracy, you're next. Any last words? And if you want people to follow you, where can they follow you all? I forgot to do that part.
I'm Boxer Girl 1970 everywhere. So that's me. And 1970 is, that's my age. So
And you wear it well, okay?
thank you. Like
Absolutely.
we're both like Christine made a joke about the robot, and she had said earlier, like, I got it.
Nobody got it but her.
Like,
No,
we
no,
did
I
that
got
to
it
the
too.
Jackson
I'm
5.
40.
Oh, good.
I'm 40. I got
Okay,
it
good
too.
girl. You wear it well.
So
We're both, yeah.
I want to, first of all, thank you, Christine, for inviting me on this show. I'm so excited because I'm always like in the show or on the show with the guys.
Yeah.
So it's so refreshing to be with women
We're going to do it again.
who love boxing like I do,
Yeah.
and talk about it. I'm like, this is fucking badass. I'm like,
That's
Christine,
right.
asked me. I told
That's
Lisa,
right,
I'm like,
sister,
geez,
yep.
I was like, oh my god, I was so excited. I can't believe it. What to do. Like,
gonna do it
I
again.
feel so. I put it everywhere. I'm like, so I wanted to thank you so much for being
Absolutely.
for asking me to come on. I loved it. I love ladies. I'm like, it's just it's so nice to meet you, and I'm just so thankful to be here. It's awesome.
It was fun. So fun.
Until after I got my shit together and I got the sound working and
Everything's
everything.
perfect. Oh, I
Yeah, I
find
feel
it
like
too.
it always
Our
works
third
better on the
episode.
phone for some reason.
Yeah,
It
you know
took me
what?
3
And
episodes.
they
You're
told
winning.
me the opposite on D-Style when he does. Sometimes I've been in the round table, and he said,
Yeah.
no, your phone actually sometimes echoes. He's like, it's worse. So I'm like, but how come it's working here? So
Guys.
yeah.
Esmeralda.
Oh yeah, follow me on Instagram, Fotógrafa de la Gente.
I like the way she said that. Fotógrafa de la
The
gente.
same on Facebook.
I
I'm
can't even
Esmeralda
say-
Ferraro, Fotógrafa de la Gente. And on Twitter, it's the only different one. I'm Esme Ferraro. But I love this platform. I think we all share like our very different opinions and we all are fans in such different ways, and it makes it better to be able to talk about it and not be disrespectful towards each other's opinions. We all
Absolutely.
soak it in. Sometimes our minds change, sometimes they don't.
Absolutely. And tell my brother I said what's up.
He's probably out there listening right now.
Oh, okay. We're both cancers. That's my brother. Her husband. No, I thank you all so very much. Please follow these ladies. I mean, if you ever questioned or doubted that women knew anything about boxing, well, we just proved you all wrong.
Absolutely.
You can argue, bitch, moan, but we got it going on. We will be back next Wednesday. Same time, same place. God bless you all. Have a great night.
Peace out, ladies.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye. And thank you all.